Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, so if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, I don't know what's been going on lately, but there's been a surge in these rappers getting caught with all types of illegal firearms, contraband, and large amounts of things in their vehicles that could put them away for quite a long time. Now, it's not uncommon for an individual to be set up by either a friend, family member, or just someone that knows what's going on by tipping off law enforcement that there's something in the vehicle of another person. Then police follow you from a distance, knowing what you already have in the car, but use a traffic infraction as a reason to pull you over just to get the stuff that they know you have in the car, but they just need a reason. Or sometimes law enforcement don't even have to be tipped off. All they have to do is watch your social media and see that you carry weapons and then pull you over hoping that you have those same weapons that they seen you possess on social media. If y'all remember, that's exactly what happened to Boozy when he was at a barbecue and somebody filmed him with what looked like a firearm in the back of his person, and the next thing you know, they stopped his car and voila, they found the same firearm in the car as well. It's that easy. Now in JackBoy's case, I think this is exactly what happened. I'll get into the article in a few minutes and explain why I feel that way. However, JackBoy have been hit with a bunch of charges such as possession of a weapon or ammunition by a gang-related felon or delinquent, display firearm during felony, possession of marijuana over 20 grams twice, possession of marijuana not more than 20 grams, drug equipment possession and or use, driving while license suspended, revoked or equivalent status in contempt of court, violation of a domestic violence injunction, possession of firearm, and ammunition. Now, JackBoy has been labeled as a gang member, and he was actually stopped by Special Investigations Division Gang Intelligence Unit detectives. Now, those aren't just regular cops that just patrol the streets, so for them to have stopped him, I personally think they was already watching him and used an excuse to pretty much pull him over because they may have already suspected him of breaking the law in some way, shape, or form. Now real quick, I don't know if y'all realized, but it seemed like JackBoy been going through it every other month. Not too long ago in December, an attacker would try to take him and his brother's life as his brother was shot in the process as he was struck outside of their residence. Luckily, his brother was shot but survived, and JackBoy himself was untouched, even though many believed that the hit was targeting him. So let's get into this article explaining what happened to JackBoy in his Florida hometown. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Now let's get into it. On Tuesday, March 12, 2024, JackBoy was spotted driving a black Chevrolet Suburban just a little before 11 p.m. driving on Southwest St. Lucie Boulevard. Special Investigations Division Gang Intelligence Unit detectives spotted the truck and determined that the windows were way too darkly tinted, and as it passed, they smelled a stench of marijuana coming from the vehicle. Detectives would state that when the SUV stopped at a red light, the driver, who was JackBoy, called someone on FaceTime on his phone and proceeded to drive when the light turned green while he was still on FaceTime. Due to all those traffic infractions, detectives decided to pull the SUV over. Now, usually during a traffic infraction, they're not supposed to make you get out of your vehicle, but police report says that he was taken out of the SUV due to having bulletproof windows, which made the window unable to roll all the way down. It was also stated that they performed a probable cause search, but didn't specify what the probable cause was, but I'm assuming that the probable cause has something to do with the marijuana smell. However, I do find it ironic how they legalize a certain amount of marijuana where you can have on your persons, but they're still able to do probable cause searches to your car if it smells like marijuana. It doesn't make sense, but that's just me. Now, after being taken out of the SUV, it's reported that one of the officers noted a firearm being in plain sight. Now, on top of that, the arresting detective already knew JackBoy was a convicted felon and had a suspended license. Two things that he can't be doing, which is possessing a weapon and driving. Possessing a weapon as a convicted felon in the state of Florida is not permitted, whether it's on you or in your home. Nor can you use it in self-defense neither. Hell, you can't even use one at the shooting range. Possession of a firearm by a convicted felon in Florida is a criminal offense under both state and federal law. So felons are prohibited from carrying firearms, ammunition, or other deadly weapons under federal law as well as Florida law. If a person is caught possessing a firearm being a convicted felon, they face up to 15 years in prison and a mandatory minimum of 3 years. So in a nutshell, this is the heaviest charge throughout the rest of them, but it didn't stop there for JackBoy. Not only did he have the Glock 19, but he also had an extended clip attached with 32 rounds. They will also find more marijuana and devices containing THC and other drug paraphernalia. Reports say that during the investigation, JackBoy's brother Rodney showed up at the scene of the traffic stop, telling police that the firearm was his and not JackBoy's. Rodney would tell detectives that he brought the firearm for $900 and he left it behind in the vehicle not too long before getting dropped off before the initial traffic stop. But of course, police wasn't buying it. JackBoy was taken to St. Lucie County Jail on counts of possession of a weapon by a felon, use or display of firearm during the felony, possession of marijuana over 20 grams, as well as multiple misdemeanors. He's now being held on a $390,000 bond. Now let me tell y'all something. If police really want you, they're coming to get you. I honestly think that they knew it was JackBoy in that car and assumed he would have something on him regardless. And JackBoy knew it as well, and maybe when he was at that light making that FaceTime call, it was him calling his brother Rodney to inform him that he see the police trailing him and come up there where he's at. Now they claim they stopped him because of his tints and the marijuana smell that was coming from his SUV as he drove. And that's always been weird to me because you have to be pretty close to a car to smell marijuana, where I personally think it was just an excuse. But I can't lie, I've smelled cars ride by and smell like straight up marijuana, but as long as they have the windows down, then it's possible that you can smell it. But the part that trips me out is the tints. In Florida, they usually don't trip out over your tints and how dark they are, and they are more lenient than most places like New York, where cops are more prone to stop a car with very dark tints. In Florida, it's a lot more sunlight, so they're usually a little more lenient. But they say that his tints was very dark, but still managed to see him specifically make a FaceTime call. Now, if you're able to see me make a FaceTime call from outside of the vehicle at a distance, in the dark at 11 p.m., I wouldn't say that my tints are that dark, right? So I think that that was just another excuse to pull him over, and then once they smelled the marijuana, that was enough to get him out the car to perform a search due to a probable cause. Not to mention, they did note that they already knew that he was a convicted felon and was a gang member. Now I know that a lot of people don't like to think that, profiling exists, but it does, especially amongst police. Convicted felon, gang member, driving a black on black car where it's tinted, and they said that the car was bulletproof as well, right? So they knew that he had something in the car because he has all the signs and, red flags of someone that would possess a weapon, the least. And like I said, man, we like to think that profiling don't exist, but in the line of police work, it definitely does, and some of them will actually admit it to you. So all that plus having a marijuana stench was enough to pretty much get him out of the vehicle. And I still find that law very contradictory because a certain amount of marijuana is legal, but yet they still use it as probable cause to pull you out your car and search your vehicle. If it's legal, why search my vehicle? That kind of rhyme. If it's legal, don't search my vehicle. Y'all get what I'm trying to say, man. But one mistake I can say JackBoy did is driving with marijuana in the car, period, knowing that he had a weapon in the car. I always tell y'all that if you know you're doing something wrong on the road or doing something you shouldn't be doing, then why are you breaking traffic laws, giving them a reason to stop it? That's like knowing you have drugs in your car, but you speeding on the highway. You're literally giving them a reason to stop you and take you to jail. Now, if the firearm is really JackBoy's brother and his story was actually genuine and he left it in the car when he got dropped off, I know JackBoy is pissed. Imagine driving, minding your business, and you get stopped, only for police to discover a weapon in your car that you didn't even know was there, but you gotta hold it down, right? It's like the worst feeling. But At first I wondered why in the world was special unit gang detectives doing patrol work, but the affidavit says Port St. Lucie Chief Richard Del Toro said that specific strip often has people traveling through the city looking to commit crimes, so they're very attentive when it comes to that area. But honestly, I think it's BS, right? They knew who was in that car, they knew what they was looking for, they knew who they was targeting. Let me give y'all a quick story on the games officers play and tactics that they use. I have an uncle that was hit with 12 years because he was in the car with a confidential informant unknowingly that he didn't know was cooperating with the feds. The informant tipped police off that they had something in the car and told them where the stash spot was and told them when they would be driving. So as they were on the highway, the police would trail them and then stop them, saying the driver was veering in and out of lanes, which means that you were just going from lane to lane, like swerving, whatever. But we know that it was just something used to stop the car as a traffic infraction. Now, I don't know if they were smoking or not in the car, but somehow they was all pulled out of the car. Police found the stash, and then boom. My uncle got 12 years because he was already a convicted felon with the same charges on his rap sheet. So I say all that to say that police know what they be doing, but when they want you, and they're gonna find any way to get you. So y'all jump in the comments and let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out.